It's the Happy Families Podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
Oh my goodness, 1 month. 1 month until Christmas Day. The clock is ticking. The countdown is on. Kids are starting to get that itchy, I don't want to be at school anymore. It's getting hot thing happening. And everywhere you go, from a shop's point of view, the signs are up, the decorations are out, Christmas countdown
Music
is on.
quality.
Kylie, you wanted the top of the podcast today. You wanted to kick things off. There's something on your mind.
Well, you said that this is the most wonderful time of the year, but I have a feeling that there are going to be mums across the country, I'm going to say across the world,
Right.
that wake up on Christmas Day and feel a little bit discouraged and a little bit despondent.
Is this because the kids haven't made them breakfast in bed? Is this where this is going? You're getting in a month early and saying, kids, make brekkie?
Kids can definitely step up, but this is not actually about the kids. I think that partners, husbands, dads.
This is a dad bash.
No, it's not. Don't say that.
Sorry, it sounded like that's where you're going.
I came across an article the other day and it really resonated with me, and I felt like this was something we needed to talk about.
Well, sorry, now I'm feeling targeted. We need to talk about this.
We do need to talk
and
about
you've
it.
decided that the podcast is the right place to have this conversation with me. Great.
The title is "Not Enough Men Are Buying the Women in Their Lives Christmas Presents."
Oh, now I'm feeling. Hang on a second. No, I'm not feeling targeted. Okay. Here's how it's been in our home.
I feel a justification coming on.
When we first got married, I was extremely good. I don't know what happened in the middle there, but a few years ago, I looked under the tree and saw that all of the presents had been wrapped by you, and then I realised that all the presents had been purchased by you. I mean, I hadn't bought anything. So maybe it was Christmas Eve. And I went down to the shops and I pulled out the credit card and I thought, I'm spending. And I bought everyone stuff. So there was the Christmas presents that I was surprised to see everybody open that were from you and I. And then there were the Christmas presents that I bought everybody. And I spoiled you as well. So I'm not quite sure where this is coming from because I've been doing this for the last few years. I've been extremely good.
How long have we been married?
I've been doing this for a long time and I've been very, very good. And I'm feeling targeted. Is this a hint for me, or is this more of a general? This is a public service announcement.
This is a public service
for
announcement.
all the dads.
A handful of years ago, I did have a dummy spit because I have spent the majority of our time together as a family organising all of the contents that go into Christmas stockings.
I have a hypothesis. Maybe I'm not like most men, but I don't care about gifts. I'm not interested in gifts.
I think that you would be the same as a lot.
So because
men?
gifts aren't important to me, I'm kind of the mindset that they mustn't be important to anybody else either.
Okay, let me ask you this question. When you wake up on Christmas morning, do you not feel the magic in the room as the kids open their presents?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's great fun. It's great. But I'm not interested in opening any myself.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But you recognise and see the joy and the magic that's created from a thoughtful gift.
Which is why for the last several years I have been going and blowing the budget on Christmas Eve. Like literally.
You have. And then I've had to pick up the pieces with the budget at the other end. But that's a whole nother story.
I really am in it today, aren't I?
I've been thinking about it. In the early days, it didn't actually bother me. We only, obviously, our family grew one child at a time.
And we were impoverished as well. Like, we had such little money for such a long time.
And I worked out a really good way to fill the stocking up very easily.
Yes.
One large mango filled to the toe and a bottle of ginger beer, which was a really big treat for our kids at that stage of our married life.
We would never buy them normally, no.
Filled up the leg of
it.
it. So they got a few extra little treats and maybe a squirty yogurt or something so that they had something nutritious in there for breakfast.
Because we would try to stay in bed on Christmas morning. The kids would pull out their mango and their ginger beer and their yogurt and have it for breakfast.
So in the early days, it didn't really matter.
That was the tradition.
But as the kids have gotten older, obviously, teenagers, we're talking makeup, skincare, hair products. Sometimes those stockings cost more than the actual gifts that they get because you can actually fit a lot of that stuff when you're talking about makeup and skincare.
Oh, my goodness.
In the stocking.
Yeah.
To fill it to overflowing.
And what's also happened is as we've become a little bit healthier as a family, the kids have said, I'm not that interested in ginger beer anymore. And so the mango still fills the toe of the stocking, but
we've still got to fill the whole stocking with all the other stuff, and it's expensive. But and because it is expensive, my stocking hasn't had very much in it because it's an afterthought for me. It's like, what can I pull out of the cupboard that I haven't used yet to stick in this stocking?
And now I know why this podcast is happening, because even when I go and buy gifts, it's just occurred to me as you've said this, I don't think I've ever in 20, we're up to 26, 27 years of marriage now. I don't think I've ever put anything in your stocking in that many years. I bought you really nice gifts, but you have a stocking on Christmas Day every year, and I watch you open and I think, oh, look at you spoiling yourself. Look at all these nice things that you've bought for you. But you're suggesting that I'm getting a kick in the pants, aren't I? I've never put anything in you.
Well, this wasn't actually about you and I, but I'm grateful that there's some thought going on here for you.
Do you know the other thing though? Like as a dad, not interested in gifts for me. Full stop, end of story. Just don't care. My ideal gift is fun and laughter and hugs and tickles and playing in the pool or playing at the beach or playing in the park and good food. And my ideal is a letter from the kids saying, hey, Dad, here's what I loved about this year with you. Here are my highlights from the year with you. Or, even better, a little mini Coulson symposium where the kids tell me these are the things that I learned this year.
I think you're going to have to wait till you're on your deathbed before that happens.
I'm desperate for a symposium. I've been asking for it for about 5 years.
So here's the thing. I don't think mums out there in general are expecting lavish gifts. For the most part, that's not what we're saying.
No, but I think what you are saying is it'd be nice if we didn't have to buy our own gifts. It'd be nice to be thought of.
Yeah, we just want to be thought of.
Yeah.
And I would hands down, absolutely, fall head over heels for you all over again if I got a beautiful letter that just told me all the reasons why you still love me.
I'm making a note right now. Write letter to Kylie about...
But again, you're not a stuffs person, so don't do stuff.
Yeah.
That's not how you share your love with me. So,
but I could write a letter or a card and stick it in the stocking with all the stuff that you've bought yourself with my credit card.
Great big voucher to my day spa or even a holiday. I could do a holiday.
Righto, okay.
So what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be stuff.
Yep.
I think that in general, we just want to know that we're thought of, that we're not last minute, that we haven't just been, picked up from the local IGA on Christmas Eve because we haven't got anything, or an excuse the next morning we didn't get time.
Here's the half-price Lindt chocolate or Toblerone from aisle 4 in Woolies. Happy Christmas.
But the reason this actually came to the forefront was an article I was reading. A teenager's revelation about Christmas has revealed a depressing trend that only affects women during the festive season. And that the post literally said, I just learned that my mother fills her own stocking on Christmas Eve. I didn't believe that like Santa did it or whatever people came up with, but I did believe in my father for the longest time. I thought my dad could care enough to do that simple thing for her, but he can't. She does it all on her own. His post has gone viral, and the messages that are coming up is just the acknowledgement. I've been married for 26 years. My husband's never brought me a present.
Oh, oh no, that's not me. Okay, I was going to say the timing of that sounds about right. I'm feeling targeted again. So this is a kick in the pants. But a kind-hearted reminder, every dad, you've got 1 month. Go and buy some stuff for the stocking and be involved in the gift giving so that you're not as surprised as the kids when you discover what everyone's getting for Christmas. That's what I'm really hearing at the base of all this.
Another post said that while their mum was always in charge of filling everyone else's stockings in her family, hers was always empty. And I think for me, again, like I said, it's not about the stuff. But I remember in the early days, I absolutely loved doing all that Christmas entailed. It wasn't until our children started earning their own money and I started watching them spend that money on everyone else but me. And again, it's not about the stuff. It was the fact that I was literally not even thought of.
Not on the list. All their friends are getting a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So we need to play this podcast for our kids when it drops. This is an important one for them because kids do tend to overlook and take for granted their parents. Mind you, that is the nature of our relationship, isn't it? I mean, kids will never be able to repay us when we don't ask them to. But it is nice to be thought of, especially on days like your birthday or Mother's Day or Christmas.
Just a letter.
Just a letter, yeah. I'm going to argue that there are three other things that make it a little bit tricky, especially at this time of the year and especially after what we've been through over the last couple of years. I think money and budgets, and I'm so glad that you've highlighted things like the letter. I'm just going to put in another thing. Like my idea of a symposium, for me, I would love to sit in the living room and just hear the kids stand up and give a 2-minute presentation. They can use PowerPoint, plug it into the TV or the laptop or whatever, and say, here's the stuff that I learned this year. Or here's what I absorbed as being part of this family. Here's how I've grown this year. To me, that's just a marvelous gift to see the kids grow and share that. Another thing that is a bit of a challenge, increasingly, or at least I'm seeing this in my extended family, there's a willingness to give gifts back. Like literally this willingness to say, yeah, no, I don't really want that. Do you want to just take it home with you again? I don't even want to take it back to my house. I've seen a couple of people's gifts get rejected in that way. I would call that kind of, maybe it's just my family, but maybe, that's a bit harsh. And the last one that I'm going to mention is on top of the cost of living and the fact that you could get it wrong and feel rejected is just that sense of overwhelm. Like there is so much materialism. There is so much going on. I found it interesting that Woolworths said, oh, no, we're not going to do Australia Day paraphernalia anymore because it's bad for the environment, but they were happy to do it for Halloween. I feel like there's just misplaced priorities there. But regardless, there is a lot of paraphernalia. There is a lot of junk. There is a lot of wastage that goes on there. And I know that a lot of people are trying to be much better with that sort of stuff. So probably worth just highlighting that. I'm an ambassador for the giving machines. They've got them in Circular Quay and they've got them in a bunch of places in Brisbane and Sydney. I think they've got them in Melbourne as well. I can't quite remember these giving machines where you can donate and all the money that you donate through these giving machines goes to Australian charities. So
it's like a vending machine and you just pick,
you're like,
A6.
Exactly.
And A6 gives a goat to a family in...
Well, no, because it's all Australian. So there's no goats. It's all literally Australian charities, and people in Australian charities aren't handing out goats, but it's school supplies, or it's supporting underprivileged families or Indigenous families, or it's supporting domestic violence survivors or anything like that. I think that's pretty cool stuff as well. You stick that in a card and say, hey, I know that things are a bit tight and you don't really love stuff, but as I was thinking about how much I love you and how much I know that you love to make a difference in the world, I thought that this would be something that I could put some money towards and you could feel good knowing that I thought of you as I did it. I mean, I don't know if that works or not for some people, but to me that works. That's a nice idea as well. So they're the giving machines. You can just Google giving machines and I think it's some Light the World with a giving machine is the name of the campaign.
I think another thing, if we're going to talk about this and the whole idea of giving, I think that mums across the world would love it if their significant other sat down with them and said, how are we going to work Christmas this year? The conversations you and I have as we sit down and we talk about each of the kids and their specific needs and wants, it makes such a difference to me when you share the cognitive load of making those decisions. That's a really important thing. And I think that as you go through that process, you might even suggest at that point that you're wondering what's on your partner's wish list.
Like it.
Might help.
Yeah, it works very well for me. So the take-home message, dads, get your butt into gear. Make sure that there's something that you're sticking into someone's stocking. It will make people feel better if they know that they've been thought of. That's the whole idea of Christmas.
A gift voucher to their favourite shop. It takes zero effort on your part, but I can tell you right now that your wife wakes up on Christmas Day and says that she can go to Lorna Jane and buy whatever outfit she wants.
Not
She's
sponsored.
going to be pretty happy.
Just putting out their hashtag not sponsored. But I will take that as a clue that might be what you want. We really hope that there's been some ideas here that are going to help you to have a merrier Christmas. Fingers crossed that you're able to find a couple of bucks or find a couple of hours to write out some important things and make a difference at Christmas. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. If you'd like more info about making your family happier, you'll find it at happyfamilies.com.au.